Good morning to Boyce Academy. It's Mr. Storkerson. I'm going to give you 5 seconds to stop laughing at the fact that I am both in front of you and on the screen here. So again, Mr. Storkerson, I'm wanting to switch to this new format where I will digitally lay out for you exactly what we're going to be doing today, what we're going to be doing this week, what the class expectations are. So without further ado, class expectations. Mr. Storkerson, can we do this? Is that okay? Mask up, Micah. And no, expectation number 1, no dust angels, please. Mr. Storkerson, how about this? Is that okay, Mr. Storkerson? Is that okay, Mr. Storkerson? Mask up, stand up, Micah. No, we're not throwing things. Don't throw pens, don't throw paper, don't spit things out on each other. Do I have to tell you this, really? No. No. The expectation is you should do none of those things. None of those things, please. Main expectation, if you can't say or do something nice, just don't do it at all. So be nice to your classmates, be nice to me, and do nice work. Sound good? Yeah, that's good to hear. So yeah, I'm over here now, and I would like to go over some of the work that we did last week, as well as some examples of people who just did a stellar job with it, who did a nice job with it. So please, again, we're doing a nice job and being nice to each other. Check out this good work. And yes, now that I pointed out, this tree is actually pretty good work too. Some patterns are what I'm looking for good notes would be having not just 1 or 2 or 3 words, like a key term, but actually telling me what it is. That way you're giving yourself something to remember as well as something meaningful to connect it to. That's the key. Always have something meaningful so that if you read it later, so that if I read it later, it's very clear what is supposed to be learned, what is supposed to be remembered, what it is that was new to you. The second is the organization of it, that you have them numbered, that it's clear where it's from, so that it has the name of the assignment that you're working on, so that you yourself can go and reference this later and be able to know what you are reviewing. Each of Peyton's notes here is a sentence, not a single word, and all of the main ideas are covered. We see that there's a biodiversity in the Amazon rainforest. We see that there's corruption among its political leaders, and we see that that corruption leads to deforestation for agribusiness, for cattle raising on the land from the trees being cut down. And I guess the third one would be do more. Don't do the bare minimum. On our 6 Things for Students to Know About Climate Change notes, Jalen Rollins was the only one in the first period class who gave me 20 instead of 15 notes. I offer extra credit for doing more than the bare minimum precisely because I'm trying to incentivize you, give you an incentive, give you a kind of reward for doing the right thing, which is to engage with the learning. If only getting the bare minimum takes you the whole time, that's fine. I set the bare minimum as the time I expect most people to take to do it. If you can fit in more, good. Try to stay focused, getting as much as possible from what you're watching and listening to, so that way you can take away as much as possible from what you're watching and listening to. Due dates kind of matter too, guys. If I'm giving you an assignment in class that's supposed to be due today or set for tomorrow because I'm giving you the opportunity to do it as homework, don't save it to be done as homework. I don't actually plan on you guys having much of any homework at all. If you do, it's because you're not focused in class. You should just focus in class. Things go faster. Things feel like they go faster, and you get a better grade. Plus, it's what you're supposed to be doing. Remember those expectations? Yeah? With that said, we've got the expectations, the review of last week, and now let's get focused on something. Here's your bell ringer. I'm going to show you a TikTok video each day, 1 to 3 TikTok videos, and then ask you a question. Your bell ringer is that question. You answer the question about the videos that we watch and include that with the notes on what we're doing that day.
construction company invented a Lego-like way to build a building. The walls and floors are produced in advance in the factory, and then are put directly to the construction site in a big container. Workers only need to turn a screw, so they can finish a floor in 2.5 hours. Finishing this whole building only took them 28 hours. They also complete the interior decoration at the same time. Home appliances and furniture are all ready to use. The room is equipped with smart curtains, which can be adjusted automatically according to the intensity and angle of sunlight. Although it was built quickly, the quality of the building is good. It is the world's first stainless steel building. Its lifespan is 20 times longer than that of reinforced concrete buildings. It can withstand magnitude 9 earthquake as well. Amazingly, it can be disassembled, moved, and reinstalled when necessary. It is called a living building. The entire project has zero concrete, zero scaffolding, and zero construction waste. The cost of building material is as low as 30% of regular buildings. The price of this building is 5,000 yuan per square meter. Do you like it?
In today's lesson, we're going to be learning about grammar. Oh, great. A new sub. MT, 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 MT.
The teacher no one asked for, but the teacher we need.
All right, bell ringer question for you. How long did it take that empty lot to go into a more than 10-story building? How long did it take them? How did they make it so cheap? All right, bell ringer question for you. How long did it take that empty lot to go into a more than 10-story building? How long did it take them? How did they make it so cheap? So what are we going to do today, Brain? The same thing we do every day, Pinky. We stay in our chairs, we speak at level 1, and we do nice work. As far as the work that we're doing this week, that will be me teaching you through a PowerPoint and some guided notes that you fill out about renewable energy. Renewable energy is the focus that we're shifting to as we talk about climate change, changing from fossil fuels, which include coal, oil, and natural gas, over to, we're going to say, solar power, wind power, and maybe even nuclear power, which is technically non-renewable, that these three main sources have the greatest promise as an alternative to traditional fossil fuels, which we've been burning at really high rates for over 200 years since the Industrial Revolution, and has been one of the main reasons that we're experiencing climate change, because it's been adding a lot of carbon into the air. Yeah, that's what we're going to cover today, as well as this week. We'll probably spend about 2 days on this PowerPoint, as well as a few readings covering renewable energy in general, as well as what wind power, solar power, and nuclear power have been like over the last 10 years and what they're likely to be like over the next 10 to 20. Again, renewable energy and fossil fuels. Fossil fuels, coal, oil, natural gas. Renewable energy, wind, solar, and we're gonna just mix in nuclear power because even though it's non-renewable, it kind of fits. Yeah. All right, so with that bell ringer done, let's get started on the slideshow. Wait. Now let's get started. Open up Google Classroom. Very top, you should see in week 4, renewable and non-renewable energy. We're gonna do this for 3 days. I have the slideshow available there for you, as well as the notes. Those guided notes only need to use the left side. I'll show you here in class. Let's get rolling.